Today I'm doing the second installment of a question and answer. I've had a backlog of questions come through on my social media accounts, and I've had a few emails as well. So I've picked a couple of the best questions or the most entertaining questions to answer on this video. First question is from Chris, who lives in Abu Dhabi, and this was sent to me via email. Really enjoyed the recent videos you've been recording. Love that you can make fun of yourself, ... Since that's the case, just wondering if you work out your lower body at all. Just jokes, LOL, smiley face. Well, lucky I've got a thick skin, and the answer is yes, I work out my lower body multiple times a week. However, I suffer from a condition. Now the real question, I travel a lot with work and I often get stuck for ideas to train when away from a normal gym. Any tips on how to stay on track? First thing that I recommend is looking at constraints and considerations. When you travel, you're not going to have all the equipment and you probably won't be able to do the training program that you're doing currently. You also need to factor in that you're most likely going to be sleep deprived from travel, you're not as well hydrated, and you've got unregulated food choices as well, and potential lack of time. Even if you're only away for a couple of days, I still recommend to all my clients and anyone who's on a training plan to continue training. I find it works more from a behavior point of view and keeps people honest with their food choices. Just by simply training helps the conscious mind shift towards picking healthier food choices when you're away, when it's a little bit harder. It's easy to fall off the wagon when you're away and if you don't train at all. So always suggest keep up the training. But obviously you can't follow the normal training program, so you need to implement an away training program. I like to use the KISS principle for traveling programs. Keep it simple, stupid. No point making it complicated and relying on equipment. You want to make it as simple and easy to achieve as possible. The key for these workouts is to keep it short, non-equipment dominant, find a friend or a colleague to train with, do it first thing in the morning in a fasted state. Hydrate well. They are the key areas that you want to stick to when you're away. If you want a copy of the 2 templates that I send my traveling executive, just comment below or send me a private message and I'll send you the training templates. Second question is from Simon on Instagram. I have 2 questions. First, do you have any fitness audio books on fat loss that you could recommend? I don't get time to sit down and read, but I can listen to audiobooks in the car. Now, this is a great question. I'm a big fan of audiobooks and Audible. I've been a member for many years and I've found that consuming content when in the car or traveling or walking is an effective way to consume content. The first book that comes to mind would be Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle by Tom Venuto. It's not exclusive to audio. You can get the hard copy as well. It's an oldie but a goodie. It came out quite a few years ago, but he's really simple and I love the style that he writes. It's a very good resource for dropping body fat. It comes from a science background as well, so there's a lot of references in there. Although it's not an overly technical book, the key area that I love about it as well is he talks a lot about the psychology behind training and the psychology behind fat loss and for long-term success. Second question, what are 3 things your followers don't know about you? Number 1, that I'm a massive NBA nerd. I
Nerd alert!
listen to about 5 hours or 6 hours of podcasts a week. The second thing is I'm a Toastmasters member and have been for the last 3 years.
The next speaker is Adam.
I was like, is this a good thing? Third thing is I collect watches. Gold Casio calculator watch. Question number 3 is from Andy. What levels of protein do you recommend? There's so much conflicting advice. Also, do you recommend branched chain amino acids? Now for males, I generally recommend anything between 1.6 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilo of body weight per day. For females, I recommend a little bit less, 1.6 to 1.8. A lot of people overeat protein, and it's one of those ones that you want to find the right spot for you and whereabouts it works. The only way you're going to do that is by testing yourself. Now, for me personally, I like to go on the lower side. I'm generally about 1.6, and I find that works the best for me in terms of my digestion, recovery, and I've also married that up with a couple of blood tests that I've had done as well. I think it puts a lot of stress on your body if you overeat protein in particular. If you're looking to put on weight, you don't necessarily have to eat a huge quantity of protein. Get your minimum values, and if you want to put on weight and increase muscle mass, then you look at increasing things like carbohydrates and fats in your overall total calories rather than just mindlessly eating more protein. Supplement stores will try and sell you more supplements, they'll try and sell you more protein powders that you probably don't actually need. Try and meet your protein requirements through food rather than supplements, which also brings me to the point of branched chain amino acids. Recently I read a study that it showed if you eat enough protein, around the 1.3 of protein per kilo of body weight, they found that the branched chain amino acids actually have no effect on them. Now, it's not to say it's not going to work for everyone, and sometimes placebo is a powerful drug, but I'd personally invest in better food, better quality meats, better quality proteins, and you're going to get a better return on investment by eating healthy rather than just turning to supplements. Fourth and final question from Facebook, and it's from Christy. How should I go about picking a personal trainer? Great question. First thing you want to do is interview them. Don't just simply look at the bio on the internet or from what a friend's told you. You want to actually sit down and have a conversation face to face with that actual trainer. You're going to be spending a lot of time with them. You want to make sure from a rapport and a personality point that you guys are a right fit together. Make sure they listen to you. Don't just pick a trainer because they're good about talking about themselves. You want someone to actually sit down, ask you questions, and dig deep. They should listen a lot more than they speak. Thirdly, you want to look if they've got previous results. Look for testimonials, speak to their existing clients, and see if they've actually taken someone from point A to point B. Fourthly, do they walk the talk? It sounds bad, but picking an out of shape personal trainer is like working with a broke financial planner.
That doesn't make sense.
Do they actually write you a program? If they pick exercises like they're picking a TV channel, then run for the hills. There should be a number of exercises that you're doing on a weekly basis, and they should be measured by weights, reps, sets, total volume, to understand if there's progress and there's progressive overload. Is your progress quantifiable? Are they measuring? Do you know what your body fat is? What are your circumference measures? What's your total body weight? If they're not doing this on a regular basis, then how do you know if you're getting better? If you're not assessing, they're basically guessing. Getting hot and sweaty isn't a KPI of progress. Measuring, tracking biomarkers, taking photos, having things that are actually tangible and quantifiable are the keys for picking a trainer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future videos and podcasts that will be coming out soon. I'll catch you next time.